And we are live. See it, Muskrat, James Dockery, avid fisherman. How's everybody doing it? What's up, Bill of Rights, Fin Seeker? Hope everybody's doing good, my friends. Waiting on Mr. Hagen Grubbs to come in. Appreciate everybody jumping in here tonight. Catawba Backwoods, Kentucky Catman. Guess you got off a little bit early from work tonight, my friend. I hope you're doing all right, Jim. Hope everybody on here see y'all at CatCon. There's Big Nasty in here tonight. East Tennessee Cats. New face, guys. Remember, share the love. Guys, I'm about horse. So hopefully I don't have to cut it short. Catfishing with Slim. Hey, Lena. But we do have Hagen coming in tonight, Michael. But I'm horse. The wife's sister died 2.5 days ago. So we've been running ourselves ragged. If you don't mind, keep her and her family in your prayers. But Hagen should be coming in anytime, guys. So it's been a rough one. I'm hoarse again. I can't hardly talk. Hopefully we can have a good full show. Big C's in the house, 812. Mr. Hagen Grubbs should be in at any time. And let's start this out by saying, God bless America. God bless each and every one of you and your family. And I hope y'all having a good one. Let's see. There's JR, Eddie Brown, Jordan, Kentucky, Maurice. How you doing, Maurice? I hope your good Lord is taking care of you and your wife. Mr. Hagen Grubbs is getting ready to come in. Whisker time fishing. And no further ado, Mr. Jordan, what's going on, my friend?
Are we good?
Yeah, we good. Mr. Hagen Grubbs. You might have to cut down your sound. You'll get some feedback.
On my computer?
Yeah, you'll get some feedback for it. Thank you, James. This has been a little rough one. We've had 4 family members this year to pass away on us. See, Jordan. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to kill your sound, or might have to put it. You got a set of earbuds.
I'll take care of it. I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah. No more feedback. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Good. Looks like the internet's doing just fine. Let me pull this up where I can help watch.
I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to see the chat on my computer here.
Sometimes it's tough. I'll try to keep up. Guys, if you do ask a question and it don't get caught, please repost it up and we will try to catch it then.
Okay, I see them now. Muskrat. Big Nasty. Yeah, I see everybody now.
There you go. Trophy trash fishing. We got quite a few in there, guys. If you don't mind, go in and hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, we do appreciate it. So how's that new boat coming along?
The new boat?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's got a ways to go, but we're getting closer.
Clint Hill's in the house. I like that new rod rack I seen you put on there. That was a good job.
Yeah, it was just kind of I just threw something together, but I think it turned out pretty good. It'll get the job done for sure.
There you go. Team Wampus Cat's in the house. My buddy's in the house.
Kentucky Catman.
Yeah, I see him. Old Jim's in there. He plans on being at the Catfish Conference. A lot of guys in here is going to be there. Sonny Parker's in here. Yeah, that's one thing about that. You get to put a name with a face, shake a hand. Never been, so I'm kind of excited. I'm bringing some.
You've never been before?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I'd planned on going last year. Like I said, the wife had to have emergency eye surgery, so I wasn't able to make it. So,
last year was the first year I went. And
right.
I was really surprised. I went on Sunday, so I didn't see a lot of people when I went, but there were some good deals on Sunday. It was. I don't
Yeah.
guess they're having it on Sunday this year, though, are they?
No, it's going to be Friday and Saturday, from what I understand.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's going to be 2 full days. I'm going to leave here probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's about a 6.5, 7 hour drive for me.
I plan on being there both days. I've already told everybody I'll be there both days. I'll be there Saturday for sure, but I plan on being there Friday. But I'll
Yeah,
definitely be there Saturday.
I know Roger's talking it up, wanting everybody to meet over there at 2 o'clock on both days at the YouTube table, at the YouTube area. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I hadn't heard.
All right. You ready for a few questions?
Oh, yeah.
All right. What got you into fishing to begin with?
Well, I've fished with my dad since far back as I can remember. I grew up fishing farm ponds. I didn't chase big catfish growing up. We caught whatever we could catch.
Right.
Pay lakes back when I was a kid aren't what pay lakes are now. You know what I mean? Like, there was no trophy fish in a pay lake. It was
Right.
all farm raised fish. We fished some pay lakes back then before they turned into trophy lakes and stuff. And I guess that's uh, a friend of mine, or a friend of the family actually. He took his striper fishing when I was probably about, I don't know, probably about Landon's age now. He took a striper fishing, and I think that's kind of what got me into catfish, because it's throwing the cast net. It's basically the same thing I do now, but I don't know. I've always just been interested in catfishing. I've always fished a lot. There was a couple years that went by a few years ago where I didn't fish at all for a couple years. I had some unfortunate things happen, and I got back into it, hit it hard, harder than ever.
What was your first big fish that really turned the tables on you? Your first big catfish? About what size was it?
I've got a picture of me when I was probably about 15 holding I didn't weigh it. I didn't have any scales or anything. I'd say it was probably 20 pounds or so. That I didn't even know there was a difference in a channel cat and a blue cat back then.
Right.
But that's probably that's the first big fish I remember. It's probably about 15, 20 pounds.
That's a big fish at 14 years old, and you ain't never seen nothing like it.
Oh, yeah. I was tore up about it for weeks.
Yeah, it's one of them days they couldn't wipe the grin off your face with a 2x4, buddy.
Yeah.
That's bragging rights. Now, on your rigs, what kind of rods and reels do you use to chase them? Or, I mean,
what, now you mean?
Yeah, now.
I'm not dead set on just one particular rod. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I got
sir.
several different rods, whatever I can get a good deal on. All these rods nowadays, I got Team Catfish rods, I got B&M rods, I got Tangled Catfish rods, and, any of them will catch big fish. So the B&M rods are they're a little bit lighter tip. I like the action on them a little bit better, if the finicky bite or something. But other than that, I'm not real picky on the rods. As far as the reels go, I've got some 6,500 Abus, and then if I go buy a new reel, I normally just get a Cat Max. A lot of people don't like them, but I've never had one let me down yet. I've been using some for 2.5, 3 years now. First set I bought, and they're still going strong.
That's all that matters. I mean, if you can put fish on the boat and they ain't tearing up on you every time you turn around, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, right now all I've got is Abus, but that's because of most of them come out of pawn shops. Hold on, we got a daggone troll in here.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, get rid of them. Usually daggone KB or Justin or one of them done took care of them. I agree. I mean, you got many pawn shops up there you can go to and see if y'all got reels like that.
Honestly, I've never even thought to go to a pawn shop. Well, I take that back. I do got one reel that my dad was at a pawn shop and he seen it and seen a good deal on it and picked it up for me. It's It's a pen. I can't remember the model, but yeah, it is. That's one reel from pawn shop. I never look at any pawn shops for reels.
Well, a lot of guys go out and they buy all these high-dollar rods and reels when tax time come around. Well, give it about May. That's time to start hitting the pawn shops. They got to go pay the power bill.
Yeah.
Yep. They got to go pay the power bill. K&B's in the house, and Junior Proctor's in the house. We got a bunch of guys in there. Appreciate everybody coming in. But now, are you a braid or mono guy?
I'm messing around with some braid a little bit here lately, but I'm a mono guy. I like my mono, and I just use 40-pound big game. I've never had my line broke on a fish yet, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, I guess.
There you go. Yeah, if it don't break, don't fix it.
That's right. Now I I don't even remember how many big spools of braid I got. The striper fisherman that I mentioned took us out when I was younger. He passed away a few years ago, and his wife called me, and she ended up letting me get most of his gear. She said he'd be happy if I ended up. And he gave me a bunch. She gave me a bunch of his rods and stuff.
Right.
So I've been trying to get used to the braid a little bit more. I just don't feel like, I don't know. I don't have as much confidence in the hookup rate.
Right. I mean, I kind of like braid, but truthfully, what bothers me more about braid than anything is the sound of it going through my rods and my eyes and stuff.
It does. I know what you mean there. Yeah. I've heard that in a couple of my videos lately. I got braid on one rod and I can hear it over the rest of them.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I used it back when I bass fish, and that was mainly because I was a worm fisherman. So you need that little extra sensitivity, and it give you that.
Yeah.
But also, it'll cut a finger bite off too if you're a line filler when you bass fish too. Learned that.
I'm trying to give it another shot. I don't know. When it gets tangled, it's over.
Oh yeah.
There's no getting it untangled.
No, you whip out the pocket knife.
Yeah.
And as expensive as some of that is, it's hard to start cutting on it, ain't it?
I hear you. I had head. Go ahead.
Go. I'm just listening. I was clearing my throat.
I had a flathead. I don't know how big the fish was. It may not even been a flathead, but I'm gonna call it a flathead because I never caught it. But that's the way it bit. Yeah, that's the way it bit. And
there you go.
He pulled the rod over 4 or 5 times and kept dropping it. And I had braid on that rod, and I was just watching how it would snatch real fast. And I thought that fish can feel everything up here. And that's kind of when I made my mind up. I'm gonna go back to mono and stay that way. But I do got braid on one rod. I'll use it for blue cats. I got more confidence with it for blue cats.
Flathead's a little different bite, ain't it?
It is, yeah. I feel like they think a little more when they bite.
Yeah. Is that, which one would you prefer to chase, the blue or the flat?
I catch more blues, but I prefer to catch flatheads. I think I'm better at catching blues than I am flatheads, but I'd rather catch a flathead 10-1.
Them blues just don't play. When they hungry, they just take it and go.
Oh, they'll rip a rod holder off the boat.
I'm telling you, and I love it. Now, on your boat, I noticed you put a lot of rods out back and out to the side. Do you ever downline any of your rods?
Yeah, you mean like suspend?
Yeah, straight down under the boat.
If I don't have any current, I'm usually drifting, suspending,
Right.
But if I'm in the river, in the wintertime, I'm going to be blue cat fishing, of course. But in the springtime, if I'm in the river and I got current, spring, summer, fall, I'm probably going to be chasing flatheads, so I'm going to be anchored up anyway.
Got you. Now, is y'all's water still warm up there? Warmer than normal? Ours is down here.
I was on the lake over the weekend. I was seeing high 39 to 40, stuff like that. So it's pretty chilly.
Our waters is still in the 50s.
Last time I was on the Ohio River, if I remember right, I seen 37 degrees. so it's pretty chilly.
Yeah, that's pretty daggone chilly. So you
Yeah.
can get the flathead bite on that colder water.
I haven't caught a flathead and it's been a while. Yeah, I'm ready. I can't wait for spring. I don't know about you all, but I'm about ready for spring.
Yeah, I'm about ready to dry up.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Man, can't get nothing done with all this rain in our lakes. Had a buddy of mine tell me, Walterscat, he had talked to a guy that's down here, said he went out and one of our good, what I call a river coming into our lake, because Lake Wiley is a lake, is the South Fork. And he said the South Fork, after all these floods, has totally changed. So much sand and silt has been brought in. The holes and stuff he normally fishes, he said it's totally changed that whole lake.
yeah. I haven't been able to fish the river. It's been a month. It's been a month since I've caught a fish. I believe. I'm having withdrawals. That's the only reason I said I'll be there for sure on Saturday and probably Friday, because I've been thinking real hard about fishing Friday. Being at the Catfish conference, but
Yes,
I'll probably go to the conference.
yeah.
But I'm dying to get out there and catch some fish.
It ain't nothing like it.
I'll meet up with it. It's bad. I got a bad problem.
It's like me with that gold mining, that gold fever. It'll bite you and it'll bite you hard. And catfish is the same way. It'll bite you hard. Now, I love seeing a lot of your videos where you and your son are fishing together. I love seeing that, just like K&B fishing with his father. I love seeing stuff like that. That's why if I see shows like that, I try to share them up on my page. Sorry, guys. Tell us some of the good stories about your son putting some of them big fish, because I could see the smile on his face.
Oh yeah. Well, what a lot of people don't see is a few of these last big fish he's caught. I was getting pretty worried because, you seen what it was 3-4 minute video there, him reeling this fish in, but it was really probably 45 minutes on that last 57, I think it was, that he caught. It's probably about a 45-minute fight. So I was just waiting on him to either lose a fish, leader wearing to, get hung up. But I done good. I kept my patience and everything worked out. So
He had his little man had his hands full, didn't he?
But I tell you what, he'll hang right in there with me. There's been times where I'm like, Landon, it's freezing. The wind's blowing. We got to go. And he'll be, no, we'll stay a few more minutes.
Hey,
there's not many kids that hang in there like I don't feel like.
No, a lot of them say, no, Daddy, I'm ready to go. I'm cold.
There's been times when he'll get a little whiny and want to head home, but 90% of the time he's, I'm the one telling him we need to go. I wouldn't have any other way though.
Yep. Old Junior Proctor takes his grandson with him a lot, and I love seeing that. I just kids, man.
Yes, I want it to be like it was with me and my dad. We was out fishing every weekend when I was younger. I want it to be the same way. Of course, I didn't get to chase monster catfish when I was younger, but
right.
Yeah.
Hey, anytime with Dad, anytime outside, that bond together. That's
it don't matter about what size fish you catch when you're out there with your dad.
No, and that's times that when it's gone, it's gone. So take advantage of it while you can.
And me and my dad, we're lucky enough. I still get to fish with my dad quite a bit. He hasn't been in any of my videos yet, but it's coming. Me and my dad on his birthday about 2 years ago had the best day fishing I've ever had in my life on his birthday. So that was awesome.
Oh,
we caught 14 blues. We caught 14 blues on 1 anchor, and the smallest one was probably 12 pounds.
Dang right.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's a good day right there.
Yeah.
That's a good day. That's well, what's your biggest flathead you got so far?
I don't even want to talk about that really, but no, biggest flathead's around 30 pounds. That's the best I've been able to do so far. I'm not ashamed of it or anything. It's still a good fish in my book, but
yeah,
about 30 pounds. I've caught a bunch of them about that size, but I can't break 30. They've all been 29, 29 and a half, 30, right in that area,
Are you catching them on live bait, cut bait?
I've always got both out, but I catch 90% of them on cut bait. In the
Yeah.
river, now in the river. When you got current. If I don't have current, I usually run all live bait.
Right. We'll talk a little bit more about your flathead fishing in a second. Now, on your blue, what's your biggest blue?
60 pounds.
That's a big blue.
Yeah. And I've caught, like, y'all see me catch these high 50s all the time, but I ain't been able to break 60, just like on the flatheads.
Well, and let's talk about your bait a little bit, if you don't mind, sir.
Now let's do it.
I see you love using shad.
I use a lot of shad because it's easy to get. Yeah.
Right. But you do use skipjack and stuff like that also, right?
Yeah, skipjack. Y'all know as well as I do. One day they'll hit shad, one day they'll hit something else.
Yeah.
There was a week or two it was nothing, but I couldn't get a bite on shad. I about quit bringing it. And then the next weekend I went out and I never got a bite on skipjack all day. So it's you never figure them out. Yeah.
No.
But I'll tell you another bait that I really like. I wish it was a little easier to get, and that's moon eye. I don't know if y'all have them where you're from.
No, we don't have skipjack or moon eye.
Moon eye's about as good as it gets, and I don't see a whole lot of people using it, but I've had some good nights out there with moon eye when they wouldn't touch nothing else.
Right. We got old Catfish Bill. We got Lyle from Catfish Weekly in here. Antique Catfish and Skip. Justin Fishing Fetish. And of course, Roger's in here. Let's see. Eric, do you use carp for bait? Eric Jackson wants to know.
Do I use carp for bait?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like to cut them all up, put them in a Ziploc bag. Still use them fresh, but I like to let them soak in it. I usually take the head and cut it off and put it in a Ziploc bag, and then fillet it out, put the fillets in there with it. That's just my preference, I guess, because the fillets they wash out pretty quick,
Right.
I like.
Lyle said moon eye is catfish candy.
Oh, I'm telling you, moon eye is something else, man. I use it whenever I can get it. In the summertime, this small river I fish is loaded, but they disappear in the winter. You won't see them all winter. I don't know where they go. I've tried catching them in the net. They just disappear. There's got to be a big pile of them somewhere, but I ain't never been able to find them.
The Wobus Cat wants to know what is a moon eye.
It's they're in their own category. I've done a video on them last year about this time, or I guess it was in the spring. But they got a big eye, moon eye. I guess that's where they get their name. But you catch them just like bluegill or anything else. I guess they look kind of like a shad in a way, but they got little teeth. They got a big mouth, and they got little teeth in their mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't lip them, do you?
No, you don't want to lip them.
I see people talking about suckers. Them are suckers with teeth.
Yeah. Sucker, that's another. Yeah, those red horse suckers, that's another bait that I just started using recently, and I've been real impressed with them too.
Appreciate that, Bill. As guys, I did hit the 1,000 mark, and I forgot to bring it up here to do a giveaway. Our next show that we have, I will be doing a giveaway from 1,000, hitting 1,000 subscribers. And I couldn't have done it, guys, without y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I know Hagen, his channel is blew up. And it's all y'all guys that helped us, each and every one of us, get there. We can't do it by ourselves. And it's all our people that watch our videos, that give us a thumbs up and share our stuff, is to help our channel grow. But Hagen, I remember about 8 or 9 months ago, the first time I shared your video over on my Facebook page, you had a little over 100 subscribers.
I don't even think I had that. I think I I remember because you were the first guy to ever help me out on YouTube, and I'll always remember that. I owe you one for sure.
Oh, man, hey, that's what I do in the middle of the night. I get up walking around. I look for smaller channels, and I share them. If they
Yeah, I
know
would.
they're cussing and raising Cain, I want them to help everybody. But I don't remember what you had, but it's
Yeah,
amazing what you done.
yeah. I still don't understand, how it took off so quick, but I'm glad it did. And anybody that's watching that watches my videos, I want to thank y'all because I really enjoy doing these videos. It means a lot to me when y'all watch them, comment stuff. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's something that, later on, if YouTube's still around, you kids can look back and say, I remember that day with Daddy.
Oh yeah, I go back and like even some of my videos from a year ago, I'll go back and watch them, and it's like I forgot all about that day, and it takes you right back to it. That's one of the best things about it. And the people, it's crazy how many good people still out there in this world.
Yes,
It
yes.
is. You see a lot of good people in the catfish world on YouTube.
That's one thing, I never thought that I would make lifelong friends through social media, but I have.
Oh yeah.
A lot of guys that come to the tournament last year. In fact, every one of them. I think the world of all of them. I couldn't have done it without them. A lot of them's on here tonight. I cannot thank them enough. And I don't want to ever. I don't think my channel ever get that big. But that's one thing we can never not look back and thank the people that helped us get to where we at. We had
That's right.
65 tonight. Appreciate that, guys. A lot of new faces. Don't forget to share the love, guys. Check them out. Running Late's in the house. Yeah, I see a few new names. My son caught 3 fish in 5 minutes last year. He was so proud of himself. Hey, we all proud of him. We want to see each other catching big fish, don't we, Hagen?
That's right. Combat Carl, you need to behave.
I didn't see what he said.
He ain't. I was just messing with him. He ain't doing
Oh,
nothing.
oh,
I'm laughing at it.
he's a funny guy.
Try to stay out of trouble, brother.
Oh, I hear you. Justin Fish and Fatty Saddle, he's selling autographs for 13 cents a piece. I guess at Catfish Conference. Oh, somebody must be talking junk. All right. Yeah, I'd love to see you be able to make it down to the tournament, Hagen. I really would, buddy.
I hope I can. I really do. It's hard to say I'll be there or I won't be just because it's so far out.
Right.
I got young kids and stuff. But
I
a lot of
understand.
people don't know I got a little girl. They never see her in the videos. I got a 4-year-old little girl too, so she keeps me busy.
Yeah, when she gets a little bit older, she's going to want to outfish the big brother.
Oh, she's done been out there more than once. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't have time to get the camera out that day. We'll put it that way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be ready to talk junk.
Oh yeah.
That's siblings, though. You got any brothers or sisters?
I got a sister. She's 6 years older than I am.
So
No
she
brother.
wasn't raised on the riverbank, was she?
She went with the son, but no, she wasn't into it like me and Dad was.
Right. Well, what's your next big fishing trip? I know you fish rivers. Are you planning on trying any place new this coming year?
Well, I was gonna head down south to Tennessee and fish about this time, but the water's so crazy. I don't really. It's hard to make plans to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I've been
I've been
spending a lot more time on the lake here lately, just because the rivers have got so bad. Trying to get a little better at that. I don't do too good normally out there. 2-3 fish is a good day out there on that lake for me.
what lake you fishing?
Taylorsville Lake. That's where Steve Douglas hosts his tournament. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yeah.
that tournament or not. But I
Yeah.
fished it in the past 2 years.
I've heard it's a good lake.
It is. In the summertime, I can catch some fish out there, but during the winter, they're just so scattered. I've never got a pattern down.
Hmm.
In the summertime, it's got a real serious thermocline in it. So you
Right.
pretty much put them where you know they're going to be. But it's got
Right.
some 70, 80-foot water in it, so they get pretty scattered in the wintertime.
Yeah. You ever see any fish down in that real deep water?
A few, but most of the time they're in the 20 to 30-foot range where you see most of the fish, you know.
Right. I always wondered that. I've never really concentrated in deep water, even though the deeper the hole, the bigger the fish. You know, we all heard them
Oh,
myths
yeah.
and Volkswagen sized fish in them deep holes.
Yeah, I do a lot better staying 20, 30, 40 foot. And when I'm on the lake, I fish shallow. You know, that's something I haven't really covered in my video yet. I don't fish, you know, when I'm in the river, I like 30, 40 foot of water. But when I'm on the lake, you know, I like 10 foot. You know, normally no more than 20. And I catch a lot of fish suspended
And
in
in the
that
lake,
lake too. Yeah.
now in the lake, I like 5 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot of water.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where the bait is a lot of times. So that's where the fish are gonna be. You know, they can be
Yeah,
anywhere in the lake. It's tough.
my last trip. Of course, our lake is still in the 50 degrees, and it should be in the low 40s right now. But wintertime, they was so much treadfin shad up there in 2 foot of water, it was just crazy. And you can see the gizzards flipping back in there with it.
Yeah.
And I was catching fish 4 foot, 5 foot off the bank, right on the bank, and it's shallow water. I loved it. Uh,
Yeah. You talking about when your video?
yeah,
Yeah, I watched your video.
yeah. And me and Wabash Cats, you know, a couple of weeks prior to that, we was anchored in 4 foot of water and putting baits in 1 and 2 foot of water. And I was just a good day. I had just a good day of fishing. Seeing them fish coming up and hitting that bait and slapping on top of the water because
Oh
they ain't
yeah.
got nowhere to go. They're gonna run
No, I can't go
sideways.
down. Yeah.
No. And usually you're gonna have one or two that's gonna run you around and around the boat and tangle up some rods and make you do the dance.
That's it.
So you don't in the river, you don't really chase them up in them shallower waters, do you?
Um. Well, the small river that y'all see me fish, the Kentucky River, it's not a lot of people fish that river. I mean, a lot of people do, but as far as trophy fish goes, you know, you don't see anybody really down there. Not many people anyway. But there's not really any shallow water in that river. I mean, when I'm talking about real shallow, there's no flats or it's not very wide. As a lot of y'all's probably noticed. But
So it's just like a big river channel itself, ain't it?
exactly. It drops straight off the bank to, you know, 20 foot, and 10 foot out from that is 40 foot. It averages 35, 40 foot. You wouldn't think that by looking at it. You know, it's a pretty small river, but it's deep. It's just got, you know, big rock bluffs on both sides of it, so it can't really be wide, you know.
Ain't right. Team keeping it real fishing's in here. Junior Proctor's, Junior Proctor, Junior Worskow's in here. We got a bunch of good guys in here, bunch of them. And that's one thing I like bringing different people in here, Hagen, is that they can give us a different point of view on how they fish. And it might help somebody else out. Like I mainly fish lakes. I'm looking forward to fishing some rivers. So listening to you and some other guys that fish rivers will help me out just to get started on a brand new body of water.
That's right. I need y'all's help on this lake right now, it sounds like.
Now, when it comes to going to a brand new body of water, a river or something, what's some of the first things you look for or you do before you ever get to that water?
That's a good question. I spend a lot of time. I like to have a plan before I ever leave the house. Uh, if I don't, I normally spend more time second guessing myself than I do fishing. You know, riding around looking at the sonar. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the water conditions, the water level, try to find out as much as I can on that body of water.
Right.
And if the lake's got a map on it, I'm gonna study that map, look for, you know, contours, you know, flats, all that kind of stuff, depending on whether it's a lake or a river. But if I'm looking at a river on a map, I'm looking for drop offs, ledges, channels. You know, when I'm fishing a lake, I'd probably be looking for flats with deep water close by. You know, just depends
Yes.
on where I'm headed.
Right. So, do you spend any time on Navionics before you
Oh
ever
yeah,
get there?
absolutely. That's what I normally look at. I look at Navionics and I look at Google Earth. Those are the two I normally look at just to kind of get a feel for something.
Well, that Google Earth, a lot of people don't realize that you can go back in the timeline on Google Earth.
See what was there. Yeah.
Yeah, you look at
Exactly.
the drought season when the lake's way down, and you might see stuff that you never thought would be there will be hanging out there. You might find daggum log jams that's
That's
suspended
it.
underneath the water that you might have went flying by it at 50 mile an hour and never seen it. And that way right there, they just use every tool in your book that you
You
can
got
use.
to. You got to because you only got so much time when you get out there. You know, you got to make it count.
Right. Now, do you have any white perch in y'all's water?
Not that I know of. I was thinking about that the other day. I caught a white bass in the net, and I thought it reminded me of them perch I see y'all catch. And I was thinking, you know, I've never seen any perch around this area. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're here or not, but to my knowledge, they're not.
Well, if you had many of them, when you actually come across them on your depth finder, they'll look like a mess of spaghetti when they're up
Yeah,
and
I've seen them. I've seen them on your like Dieter's videos and stuff.
yep.
I've never seen. I've seen shad like that, but you know they were shad ones. Do y'all have a lot of? I don't see a lot of guys from Fish Wiley. I don't see a lot of y'all throwing the net catching shad. Is that more y'all rather use perch or not a lot of shad or what is that?
Well, there's tons of perch in that lake, uh, and it does have a fair amount of gizzards, uh,
Yeah,
and it's got tons of tread fin in there, which that's just a little small shad.
yeah,
Uh, when the white perch come into the lake, it really hurt that lake for a long time for crappie and other stuff. The crappie has made a big comeback in the lake. The white bass is gone. It's
oh, the
gone.
perch knocked them out, huh?
Yeah, we used to have some good 2-3 pound white bass. Nice, just good bass. Fun to catch. They're gone.
Hey,
But I think that the amount of white perch and wally is really what helped bring the big blues and the big flatheads into their prime.
yeah, plenty
It,
deep.
yeah, I mean they had plenty of shad, plenty of crappie and stuff, but I think the amount of food that them perch produce really changed that lake
Yeah,
towards the good for
yeah,
catfish.
just for catfish. Yeah,
Right. I mean we don't a lot of lakes have perch, but they also have striper and other bigger aggressive fish that can kind of help keep them in check.
exactly. Yeah,
Uh, Without being able to keep them in check,
spread
it's
like
crazy.
wildfire.
Oh
Yeah,
man, I've seen so many on my depth finder. I couldn't believe how much is there. And years ago, when I fished that lake first, we didn't have it. So the first time I seen it, I thought, "What in the world is this?" You know? But it's full. Now, I see some big gizzard shad you bring in your nets.
we've been catching some whoppers this year. I've caught some. I was like, no way, that's not a shad. You know, looks like James River shad. What I say?
Yeah, when you had a 812 on the boat with you, and you brought that one, he said
Yeah,
that's a steroid shad or something.
yeah. What do you say? Nuclear disaster. That's
That's
what he
what he
called
said.
it. Yeah, he didn't know what to think. Of course, on camera it looked like a 11-inch shad, but in real
Right.
life it's probably 13, 14-inch shad. So I love catching them like that, but I don't get many. But they're definitely a lot more oily and bloody.
Yes.
If
Now,
I
do you
catch
use
something like that, it's gonna be a good day.
you use
Normally.
them big old heads off them big rascals?
Oh yeah, just like a big skipjack head,
There you go.
bigger than a. I mean, bigger than most of the skipjack I catch actually.
So now, do you prefer them big shad? I know a lot of guys say they like about the 8 to 10 inch shad. That
I
they
like the
them-
8 to 10 inch if I'm gonna be using them live, but
right.
if I'm using cut bait, I want it big as I can get them. Because I'll cut them into, I'll get 5 or 6 big chunks out of one shad. It's just blood pours out of it. They're so much more bloody. That's what I prefer, I guess.
What size net you throwing?
I got 2 10-foots. I got 1 1/2-inch mesh and 1 1-inch mesh. And they're 1.5 pounds per foot, so they're pretty heavy.
No, it don't take long. You don't want to throw out a whole lot.
Now, when I first started throwing them, I could throw it 2 or 3 times and I was done. I said, I got to figure something out. This ain't going to work. And the striper guy that I mentioned earlier, I got all his nets. I had 4 10-footers. That's the first time I'd ever seen a 10-foot net or handled one, And
Right.
I found another way to throw it. It don't bother me a bit. I can throw it all day. That's what Joe 812. He was like, "How you keep throwing that net over and over like that?" And I said, "Man, this technique I got down. You're gonna have to figure it out because I can throw it all day." I guess it's because you're holding weights in both hands, and some of it's on your back. You're not holding it all in one arm,
Now, have you done a video on that? I thought I watched all your videos.
I did a video on the net.
I had to go back and look at that. I know I got a pretty decent technique, but it ain't one that you want to use all day long.
Yeah. Well, it's a triple O technique is what it's actually called. It's pretty popular in saltwater, but I haven't seen a lot of people around here use it.
Right. I had to check that out. I mean, you always need, like I said, another tool in your toolbox. Oh, Chunky Cat's in here tonight. Appreciate you coming in there, El Stan. Now, do you usually switch up your seasons as far as your baits?
Well, right now I'm out. I'd like to have some skipjack right now, but I'm out. So I'm not even worried about trying to get skipjack right now. I'm just because they seem to be biting on shad anyway. So that's what I've been focusing on, getting them big shad. People say that moon eye is not good in the wintertime, but I don't believe it. I'd love to be able to. I won't freeze the moon eye. I've never had any luck freezing them. I've tried everything just like I do with my shad and skipjack, and I just ain't never had much luck. I'm not happy with them,
Right.
when they come out of the freezer. But when those moon eyes start running in the spring, that's what I'm gonna be using. But it'll be shad until then.
Now, are you allowed to fish with bluegill or brim?
We can use bluegill. That's about it here in Kentucky. No crappie,
Right.
bass, nothing like that around here. Tennessee you can, but in Kentucky they'll let you take all the big catfish out of the river, but you can't take a crappie out of the lake and use it for bait.
That's crazy.
I got hung up in a gill net the other day on the river.
See,
it's awful up here. It's terrible.
Makes you want to bring a good heavy rope and a grappling hook and just drag them all up on the daggum bank.
It's got a hole in it now.
There you go.
I didn't do it on purpose, but it does have a hole in it now.
There you go.
I got hung up in it throwing the net. Got the motor. It could have been bad because I got the motor hung in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it just looks like a piece of trash in the water. They'll tie a milk jug to it and write net on it, but if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. It just looks like a piece of trash.
Yeah, that's which hook you use?
Bad deal. What hook?
Yeah. What hook you use?
Normally, I've got a little bit of everything, but I keep going back to the Team Catfish or the Diachi, whatever you want to call it. I don't see any difference in them.
Right.
It's a 7/0 Diachi or 8/0 Team Catfish.
Right.
I've got some mustads, but I haven't really got to fish since I got the mustads. And I just got a pack of the new 10/0. I wish I had them here with me to show y'all, but I got a pack of the new 10/0 Team Catfish double actions, and they're wicked. It's probably about a 1/4 inch wider gap than the 8s. That thing, it's going to be mean on some big flatheads this spring.
I had to check him out. It's one thing about going to the Catfish Conference, you get to see a wide selection of hooks, rods, reels, lines. You get to put them in your hand.
That's it. I can't wait. I told you earlier I didn't need nothing, but I guarantee you I'll leave there with a truckload of stuff.
Well, I'm not really looking for anything, but I probably will be grabbing hooks. That will be my main thing.
Last year I didn't plan on buying nothing, but you see there's some good deals up there, man. Y'all don't want to miss out because There's some there were some killer deals up there on just terminal tackle and stuff.
Right. Especially on that last day when they getting ready to start having to box that stuff up to take it back home with them.
That's why I went on Sunday, and I got a heck of a deal. I got a heck of a deal on some B&M rods up there.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
Now, let's get back to flatheads. That's why I said we'd get back to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, when you're going out and you specifically hunting your flatheads, what makes you choose certain spots over other spots?
Well, it depends on where I'm fishing, of course. Now,
Let's
this
go to the
river, this river that I fish here local, it's bound to be a great river for flatheads because there's not a lot of pressure on it, and it's full of rock and timber. But there's so much structure and cover in it that it makes them hard to catch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They can, you'll go down, you'll turn your structure scan on and go down the middle of the river, and it looks like a forest on the bottom, just because it's bluffs on both sides. So everything that falls comes into the river,
Yeah.
And so you got to find something pretty special to catch numbers of fish in that river. But I feel like it kind of makes me a better fisherman because you got to dig deep to pull them out of there. I mean, you can't just pull up to a log jam and say, we're going to fish here because the whole river's like that. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you say, well, where do I start?
Exactly. But down here on this river, if I can I'll see these big ledges. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll see them on down scan. I'll see them under the water in these big rock bluffs. You can see them big rock shelves. They'll hang out, and you can get your sonar to kind of get some signal up underneath of them. And if I see something like that with some timber around it, we're probably gonna pull a fish out of there. Now, a lot of times you'll never even know you got a bite, and when you go to reel it in, you won't have nothing. Your line's broke because they grabbed that bait and pulled it up in that ledge. They probably didn't have to come out, but a foot grabbed the bait back up in there, and then he's hooked. And then he's gonna set. He never moved, but he cut your line on that rock.
Yeah,
so it's tough down here. But when I go to the Ohio River, it's a little different. I try to find places with not a whole lot of structure, cover, and then when you do find that cover, it's gonna be good.
Gotcha.
And I move a lot. I try a lot of different stuff to catch these fish. I put in a lot of work. You got to.
Yeah.
I won't sit in one spot too long. Some days I'll go out there and fish probably 20 spots in a day. I mean, that's work. Y'all know how it is.
Yes.
Anchor fishing. That's a lot of work, but I guess that's how bad I want to catch some fish.
Well, do you not think that sometimes that you might need to wait them out just a little bit longer and you just...
I definitely do at certain times of the day, but like first thing in the morning, I'm not going to set on one spot and miss that morning bite.
There you go. I
might be better off doing it, but I can't make myself do it. If I sit there 15 minutes in the morning and I'm no action, of course you got to go with your gut too.
Right.
A lot of times, you just feel it. You know what I mean? And sometimes you don't. Your gut means a lot. You got to go with what you feel.
All right. I'm going to throw something up at you that is something I've been thinking about and probably going to work on a little more when the flathead really goes into feeding. They're still feeding here. You can still catch them. It's just it's not as frequent as closer to summer.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about that river that's got all of that debris in it, that makes it real tough. Back when I used tournament bass fish, used to catch a lot of catfish using a pig and jig, flipping and pitching jigs and pigs.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's something that could be done on that type of river?
You mean just kind of walking a bait down the structure?
Actually standing up like you bass fishing, taking you.
Oh, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I seen a little something on Facebook about that, didn't I?
Say what?
I think I might have seen a little something on Facebook about that, didn't I?
Might have. There's a couple guys that
I thought you put something on there. You had
I
some
did.
swim bait, crank bait, something. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm working on another type of bait that will do it. But there's a couple videos out of guys that's catching some big flatheads, and all they're using is a 1 or 2 ounce lead head jig with a big hook and a big rubber swim bait.
Absolutely. I've done that exact thing, not on purpose, but I've done it sauger fishing, walleye fishing in the river, and it was actually well, it was in November, and I dropped it down 30 foot of water below the dam. Bow, he nailed it. You know that was just a lead head, a 1 ounce lead head with a big curly tail on it. So it definitely works.
Well, think about it. You got all
Yeah.
that debris. Stand up on the front of that boat like you bass fishing and pitch it in and out of that debris. Just, you got 30, 40 pound line, like you drag down where you can get him up out of it.
You have to be quick. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be quick. As soon as you feel that thump, you better get on him and get him up out of it.
Yeah.
But, that's where you was talking about, where do you start? How do I search to find that one I want to fish?
It's tough, but
Then
you're right. You could cover a lot of water that way.
You set your trolling motor where it's letting you barely come back down the current, and you can just sit and work and work and work, like a day of bass fishing. And who knows, that 30-pounder that you're waiting to bust through, it might be just a hook away.
That's one of them things where it's hard to make yourself try it. But if it could definitely pay off.
Yeah, I think outside the box a lot. So
you got to. One of the best skipjack spots that I ever fished in my life. I had never heard anybody skipjack fishing it ever. Still haven't really to this day. But it's the best I've ever seen. So you definitely got to try new stuff. You can't just do what everybody else is doing all the time.
Well, if we done the same thing all the time, we'd all still be living in caves and eating raw meat.
You got that right. You gotta change it up, try some different stuff for sure.
I like my food cooked, don't you?
I do.
We got about 10 more minutes. Anything you want to cover that you
Somebody
think?
who was it said,
go ahead.
Daniel said, "How you enjoying your new boat?" So far, I'm enjoying it. I wish I could spend more time on it. I wish the weather cooperated a little more. I still got some bugs to work out. Bilge pump's running a little more than it needs to be. I need to check that out. And then I don't like how it's starting. Of course, it's an old carbureted 2-stroke, and it's been setting for about a year. So I've already checked the carbs out. They seem to be okay, so I might have to tune on the carbs a little bit. But it seems like a good boat. I know the guy I got it from, and I know it's been took care of. That means a lot.
Right. Did you check your gas lines and stuff like that? Might need to replace some of the gas lines. And
got all new fuel lines and filters and water separators and all that. I don't know. Still got a little bug to work out, but we're getting closer. I mean, it's running good enough where I can fish out of it and stuff, but I want it to idle. It's not idling. I'm not happy with how it idles yet, but we'll get it there.
Yeah. What motor is that?
It's a 70 Mercury.
Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them Mercuries can be tricky to get the idle just right on them.
I know. That little one I got on my small boats, I've struggled with it idling about since I've had it.
Them things are made to wide open. They don't like to puddle on, and they want you to hammer down and go.
Thank you, Chunky Cats. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to see if we missing anything. Have you ever tried?
Check your reeds. I did actually. I actually just did, and they seem to be all closed and in good shape, but I might look into that a little more.
Yeah. So that's why I like it. So people come up and might tell you something you didn't think about.
Exactly.
I was trying to see. Somebody Muskrat said his Johnson's cold natured.
Demon dragons or peg floats. If he's talking to me,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to use peg floats just because I'm cheap. I like the demon dragons a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I've never bought any. I got some for Christmas this year, and I'm about half scared to use them because I don't want to lose them.
I got some. Catfish Bill sent me some a long time ago, and Lake Wiley eat them things up pretty quick. And I saved
Did it?
one. I saved one in my tackle box for a long time. And I thought, not gonna use it. Not gonna use it. Not gonna use it. Tied it on. It wasn't on there 30 minutes, and Lake Wiley eat it too.
Justin said seafoam. I tried that too already. I've done about everything. I think I'm gonna adjust on the carbs a little bit. I'm about narrowed it down to where it runs perfect at wide open throttle, so we're getting pretty close. It can't be nothing too serious. Just don't want to idle just right.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a head gasket or something. That'd be my luck. But, what size live well do I have? The boat's got a 10 or 15 gallon in it. Now, as far as the tournament live well, I got a 55 that I had in my last boat because that's about the only thing I could run in it. That's
Right.
me and my dad fished the tournament on Taylorsville with 55 gallon of water and a 15-foot John boat loaded down with fish. Rolling in there with all them big sea arcs and stuff. That was a good time, though. We got laughed at, but we was laughing with them, you know. It was fun.
Did you
But
put a whooping on them?
No, there were 70, 80 boats. I think we finished like 13th or something, but we got our 5 fish. The 2 nights previous to the tournament, I caught real nice fish. And then the night of the tournament, I had one big takedown. And then other than that, our biggest fish, 10 pounds. But I'm going to build me a new live well for this boat. I've already got it set up. I'm just going to pull the guts out of this one and put it in a bigger tank.
Right.
I want something a little bigger than 50 gallons.
Well, yeah, 15.
A little wider. It's not the tank I got's kind of narrow. It's not real wide. I want something a little wider, just more space for big fish, you know, keep them healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, and I mean, this is my personal thought. I don't think you really need a live well that is as deep as what a lot of boats have. They have real deep live wells. I think wider and shallower, it keeps that fish. I don't think that fish gets bumped around as bad inside of that live well.
See, that's the problem with mine. It's real deep, but it's not as wide as I'd like for it to be.
Right.
So if you caught a 50-pounder or something, you wouldn't be able to keep him in there long. He'd be cramped up, miserable. So I'm definitely going to look into getting me another live well.
As long as you're fishing a boat, no matter what you have, or different kind of planter boards.
K&B, I know the feeling, brother. I wasn't even in a bass tracker, though. I was in my boat half side of a bass tracker. But, hey, we had fun. It was fun running with all them big boats. I told everybody as long as we could stay on top of the water, we had just as good a chance as anybody.
There you go.
We pulled planer boards all night just like the rest of them. Takeoff was a little rough, but after that was all right.
Well, that's usually when you step back and let everybody else blast off and get ahead of you, and then you take off and you're good to go.
Yeah. I blasted off right there with them. I probably shouldn't have, but we made it.
No. Your daddy was probably looking at you kind of funny, wasn't he?
He's crazy. He don't care.
Hammer down. Let's go, boy.
That's it. He ain't worried about nothing.
So you do pull planer boards?
Oh yeah, I love pulling them boards. If I'm fishing a lake, that's what I'm normally doing. Unless it's this time of year, and then I don't know what to do in a lake.
Do you suspend your baits under it, or do you kind of long line it underneath your boards?
Well, if we don't have the thermocline, or if I'm fishing shallow water during the thermocline, I use the planer boards to drag.
Right.
But a lot of times in deep water, you know, we'll fish 40 foot of water and fish the top 8 foot of it, and that's where we catch our fish. So I like to run double hook rigs with a hook. I run them real far apart when I'm pulling in boards, like 4 or 5 foot. And I'll put a hook 2 foot under the surface, and I'll put one down lower. And 90% of the time, from my experience, it's been that top hook. So they're up busting them shad. People say they're bottom feeders, but no, they're up there busting them shad like everything else.
You know what I asked them when they talk about that?
What's that?
How many times you been out on a lake and seen them jugs taking off across the water?
That's
and
right.
have 2 foot of line on them jugs.
That's right. They're not on the bottom, are they?
No, they coming up, taking that bait on the top. They feeding on shad. They feeding on brim and other stuff that's up there feeding on bugs that's dropping in the water.
And that's my theory on a barge bite. All these people talk about a barge bite. I think these fish suspend a lot more than we think they do. I feel like a barge bite's just you got suspended fish, and that barge pushes them down to where your baits are. I swear, that's the way I think.
You ever fish under a bobber?
I'm going to this year. I've got a good plan. I mean, I have, yeah, I have quite a bit, but I've got a good plan for bobber fishing this year for flatheads.
Yeah.
I hope to be able to get some of that on video. I can't wait.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I got a saying, you don't know till you throw. So
That's it.
you got to put it out there. If it don't work, then think about why didn't it work and try something a little bit different using the same bobber.
Yeah,
But you might need to pull it up a foot or drop it
that's
down
it.
a foot. So
812 said Hagen's John boat's more stable than you would think. He was pretty scared the first time he got out in that boat, but he figured it out. He got used to it. A barge was coming up to us in 3 mile an hour current, upriver barge. I could see it in him. He was scared.
and I mean, had he ever really been around the barges before? Because that's a big vessel.
He's been around them before, but not in a boat like mine.
No.
Nobody has, I don't think. That's the main reason I got this bigger boat, and I forgot to mention that earlier. I was
Right.
on the river. It was, I don't know, it's probably 2 months ago. I tell you what, it was the weekend before that tournament down on Wheeler where all them boats got in trouble. And I was by myself, thank God. If Lane had been with me, I'd have had a heart attack. But we ran, it was a calm morning, no wind. Me and another guy, he was in a boat just like mine. We ran up the river a few miles. Wind came out of nowhere, and there we are, 2 or 3 footers, and we're out there in them little boats. And I got home, and I thought if Landon had been with me, and something would have happened. That's when I decided we got to get a bigger boat just for situations like that.
Right. Yeah, there's some lakes that, we're like Santee Cooper. I know you've heard of Santee Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
The bottom lake down there, it's kind of bowl shaped. So you might be out in the middle and I'll hardly see land and be ice, just like slick ice. And then next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 foot waves busting over your bow.
It's scary stuff, especially when you're in a little boat. Any boat, for that matter. It's scary stuff.
Yep.
Especially in this cold water, because you don't have long in this cold water.
No, you don't last long in cold water. You
Not
don't.
at all.
Your body starts shutting down real quick.
And that day out there on the river, it was just me. Me and that guy had actually split up. He was down. He was fishing. I decided to head on in early because it got so rough. If something would have happened, that'd been it because there was nobody around me. People's got to think about stuff like that. It's nothing to play around with. It's serious.
Yeah, and that's, my buddy Wampus Cat is just, we've got to where the wife would prefer me to fish with somebody else, even though I fish a lot by myself.
Yeah.
When you get a little older, especially like you being a father, you're thinking, I need to come home to that youngin' and my wife.
It makes you think. It makes you think like that.
And there ain't no fish in that water worth losing your life over. Well, with that being said, Hagen, let's everybody do stay safe out there, especially in wintertime. Summertime, I think we got to worry more about the drunks on the lakes and the rivers running over you. But regardless, stay safe. Wear your life preservers, or at least keep them handy where you can get them on in rough waters. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings, especially night fishing. Idiots come flying down the water without no lights on, half drunk. But just stay safe, guys. I hope I see all of you at the Catfish Conference. And I know I'll see you there, at least on Saturday.
I'll be there.
You might be having fish on Friday.
I'll probably be there Friday.
Well, Hagen, I thank you for coming into the show tonight, my friend.
No problem, brother. Anytime.
We'll do it again. I like for you now that you can go live. Maybe you can give me a holler one weekend that you're out fishing, that maybe you're on the fish pretty decent. Give me a holler. And
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
I'll set up, we'll fire up a show, bring you in here live. You can set your camera up.
I didn't even know we could do that. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
I'm
As
still
long
new
as
with
you
all
got
this
a
stuff.
good,
I'm still learning.
if you still got a good signal out there on some of the waters, I'd love to do that.
Okay.
I'd love to bring you in here and do a live show with you.
That would be awesome. We need to try. I'll keep that in mind for sure.
Yep. And if you do any night fishing,
Oh yeah, I love night fishing in the summertime.
oh yeah, keep the daggum heat off of you a little bit.
I go every chance I can get. Every chance.
Well, Mr. Hagen, I thank you for coming in here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll do it again. Everybody, we appreciate you coming in. Make sure you check out Mr. Hagen Grubbs' channel. We will see you at the Catfish Conference. Don't forget, April 18th, guys, Patriot Catfishers Tournament, YouTube tournament's coming up. Look me up. I'll be bringing a lot of information to the CatCon. Be bringing some T-shirts, too. So look me up. Look up Mr. Hagen Grubbs. We thank you. Good night, and God bless America.
See y'all.
Take care.